Your product owner tells the team in Monday's planning that everything is on track. Then in the Thursday leadership sync, tells her director the team has missed 2 sprint goals in a row and it's a delivery risk. Nobody in that leadership meeting hears your side. That's not a peer conflict you can fix with a coffee chat. The person telling that story has more organizational power than you do, and being nice isn't fixing it. So, what to do? So, here is what to do. Stop leading with feelings, start leading with the sprint outcomes. Show them data. Make the risk visible to the person who owns the decision, instead of turning it into agreement you have to win. Every difficult person we've covered in this section so far, like the angry one, like the chatterbox, like the knowing all, the nagger, is a peer. You've got informal standing with a peer. You can pull them aside after stand-up, build a relationship over time, and I hope you're using it. A difficult product owner or stakeholder changes that. Scrum doesn't put the product owner above the Scrum Master. There are no hierarchy built into the framework itself. But in most companies, they often have more organizational power than you do. You cannot performance manage them. You cannot pull rank. And the private conversation can still help. But when there is a real power gap, you don't want your whole strategy resting on one conversation that becomes one person word against another. So here is what actually works. Lead with sprint outcomes, not personal friction. If a product owner keeps changing priorities mid-sprint, don't say the team is frustrated. Say something like this. We've changed priorities 3 times this sprint. That's left us with the 4 items done against 7 planned. And it puts the sprint goal at risk. How would you like us to handle the new request? Notice what that sentence does. It doesn't attack, it doesn't complain, it doesn't cave. It states what happened and hands the decision back to the person who owns it. That's the whole skill. And one more distinction matters here. A stakeholder asking for something hard isn't automatically being difficult. If the deadline moved because of regulation, that's real business pressure, not bad behavior. Your job isn't to shield the team from every uncomfortable request. It's to make the trade-off visible and let them own the choice once they see it clearly. When you do need to go over someone's head, escalate the impediment, not the person. The product owner is impossible to work with, gets you nowhere. We've missed the sprint goal twice in 3 sprints. I've raised the pattern with the product owner and he hasn't changed. I need help resolving this. It's something a manager can actually act on. Now, ground rules. A lot of Scrum Masters set them and then have nothing behind them when they get broken. So they quietly stop mattering. But breaking them costs something. Can slide into the Scrum Master acting like a compliance police, and that's not the job either. Set them with the whole team. Include the product owner and agree on what happens, not as a punishment, but as a fallback. If the product owner cannot make sprint review, agree ahead of time who gives feedback and how it gets captured. If priorities aren't clear in time, the team doesn't guess. They work the highest item that is clearly ordered and nothing moves ahead of it on a guess. And one last thing. Sometimes you do all of this and it still doesn't move. If that happens, step back from being the Scrum Master for that team. It's a legitimate outcome. Because not every mismatch between a team and stakeholder is fixable by the person in the room with the least formal power. That's not your failing at this job, that's you reading it correctly. This works because you are not trying to outrank someone who has more power than you. You are making the cost of a decision visible to the person who owns it. Don't try to win the argument. Make the consequence impossible to ignore. That's really the mark of a Scrum Master who grows past needing authority to be useful. For your next step, pick one recurring friction point with a different stakeholder on your team and write it up as an outcome and risk instead of an option before your next conversation with them. In the next lecture, let's see your progress so far.